Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. Happy Sunday, folks. Happy Sunday as you're watching this Q&A. We'll jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Right into it. Hopefully you enjoyed the UFC Apex Horiguchi and Kate. Hope you watched it and you enjoyed it. Let's get right into this. If you're wondering how to submit your questions, the best way, the most guaranteed way is joining the Big Brown Breakdown Club every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time. We go live. You got to enter the super chat. 1,000% your question gets answered there. If you're waiting for these, maybe money's tight, maybe you don't want to join a club, I get all that, and you want to get your question answered, put it in the description or in the comment section of the YouTube. Any video, we will see it. Just put fan question, capital letters, Chin Nick sees them, I answer them. That's how easy it is. That's how we're doing this. So hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday, man. Let's get right into it. At ETAYZ, E-T-A-Y-Z. Fan question. I know you're as big of a Conor fan as I am. When was the last time you saw Conor's fight when he headlined against Brando in Dublin in 2014? Specifically, the crowd reaction when the fight was stopped, and again when announced he was the winner. The pop he got over this is the biggest in UFC history. If you can, you guys should show the footage on the show. It's on YouTube. Show the new fans what's up. I get goosebumps every time. Bro, I can't wait. Wish I could show it. The UFC would shut us down so fast. I haven't watched it a little bit. I probably saw it in the last year, doing some research. Probably saw it in the last year. Yeah, super special, man. Super, super special. I'm also excited that he's back. Can't wait. Seems to be in the right frame of mind, in shape, taking it serious. Seems like a changed man. Only his actions and time will tell us that. But yeah, I can't wait. It's good. When Conor's back, the UFC is great. It's great. He's the biggest star of all time. So if you saw the views that Ariel had Conor on, and then Ariel had Poatan on. Poatan's at like 282. What is it?
323,000.
323,000. Conor's at what?
1.2, 1.3, something like that.
1.2 mil. So that's when, the hardcores, when we're like, we don't really have any big stars. And people are like, Poatan, he's the biggest star of the UFC, or Suga, or Izzy, or insert Marab, whoever. It's like, no, those guys are good. And those guys are stars. I'm talking big boy stars. And that's what Conor is. And those days are probably done. At Podesta82, fan question. Would UFC at the Colosseum in Rome be cooler than the White House? Would be tough, but I could see it being right there with it. It would be special. It would be cool, especially with the history at the Colosseum and the fighters there and stuff like that. Especially with the history, the fighter history in the Colosseum, the ancient time, shit like that. It would be tough to beat the White House just because celebrating 250 years, everything that went into it. Like, what's going to give you goosebumps? What main event could they make at the Colosseum in Rome? What matchup could they make that would give you the same feeling that you got when Justin Gaethje, as a 6-1 underdog, American, defeats Ilia Topuria, the number one pound for pound guy on the planet, in the main event, and does a backflip off the cage in front of the White House? And you have fireworks, you have planes flying over above, just everything that went into it. Oh, man. It was a celebration America needed. There's no beating that. The Coliseum would be special, but just it wouldn't mean as much. There's name the best Italian fighter. There are none. It'd be dope, though. Don't get it twisted. It'd be, it'd be different in its own lane. That's what it would be. But they should do it. At Lewis Cypher -23. Fan question. When Justin Gaethje beat Paddy Pimblett, the talk was about Paddy cutting too much weight or not being elite enough. And even Gaethje was criticized despite winning. When Gaethje beat Ilia Topuria, the narrative again shifted to excuses that Topuria didn't take it seriously, was too small, or didn't prepare properly. At what point do we stop making excuses for the loser and just accept Gaethje might simply be that good? And there's a reason he stayed at the top for so long. Facts, dude. Facts. Yeah, we, including myself, I shouldn't. I know Gaethje really well. I trained with him literally his first day in fighting. I think part of the reason the narrative is, we're making excuses, not me, but people make excuses for Ilia, make excuses for Paddy Pimblett. Says Gaethje's older, and it typically in the history of the UFC doesn't work out when you're his age. What is he, 37, 38?
I think 38, yeah.
So 30. So it's like we're used to fighters, when they hit past 35, the ride's over. You got to get off. Otherwise, you stay on, you end up face down, ass up. And not to mention, he was knocked out so horribly by Max Holloway. So it's like, okay, it's over. And he got outclassed the Max Holloway fight. Like if you go back and watch that fight, he got beat up, for those 5 rounds, and then got obviously highlight reel knockout. So it's like I can see why people are, alluding to it's not really Justin. It's these guys are beating themselves. I get that. It's just a different time across all spectrum of sports. Like how old's LeBron? Balling out. You look at baseball, these guys are getting older, balling out. Football, Tom Brady, balling out. With the advancement in supplements, stuff like that, and just human health, fighters, athletes in general are going past of what we thought was possible. So I think Gaethje is more of that, where we're so used to the original blueprint of the UFC where if you get past 35, it's over because they haven't had a lot of success, and he's having a ton of success. And I think a lot of that contributes to the narrative of, Paddy fought sloppy, he cut too much weight, Ilia, bad game plan. It's like, no, Gaethje's freaking good, man.
By the way, you're right. He's 37.
37. Mm-hmm. Heather Labrizzi, 2080. Looks like we had a lady. All right, fan question. Do you think it's at all possible that UFC is putting Conor a second fight in April 2027 so he can fight Usman Nurmagomedov if he is in the UFC by then? I don't think they're looking that too much into it, and Usman's not a name right now. For us, he is. He's a savage, but for the casuals, no, they're not thinking that far ahead into it. I think they're literally just waiting to see if he's a shell of himself come July 11th. Is it July 11th or 14th? Whatever the International Fight Week is, they're waiting to see what that is. That's why they didn't offer him an extension, and they're waiting to see, going, let's see what happens. Is he going to look like Nate Diaz did on Netflix MVP? Like, we're not paying for that. We ain't paying $20 million for that. So that's all they're waiting for. So they put it way in the distance because if he looks like a shell of himself, it's like, all right, let's just hold on to him, and we can sell Paramount and these sponsors and these endorsement deals because Conor McGregor is still the biggest name in the business. So we'll use our leverage for that. That's what they're doing. Usman's not even an afterthought of any of this in the UFC's mind. Also a terrible matchup for Conor. Rachel Casagrande, 1341. I would assume that's a woman too. What's going on?
Girls, yeah.
Fan question. Where would you rank GSP amongst all the legends? Personally, I think he's the GOAT. Wow. The epitome of everything there is to be a martial artist, role model, champion. It sucks people hold his losses against him as much as they do. It's inspiring to come back after a loss and dominate. Intangibles should be weighed in with GOAT status. I have a son, and there's no fighter I'd rather him look up to over GSP. That's got to count for something. Yeah, it agrees what your criteria is for GOAT. GOAT's all in the eye of the beholder, right? So if we're talking outside the cage too, yeah, GSP's probably number one. Him or Mighty Mouse. Like Mighty Mouse's guy, family man, never any issues outside, works his ass off, real martial artist, awesome guy, awesome person, awesome dad, awesome husband, no issues, never played in the gray. Like he's the role model you want your kid to be, is Mighty Mouse. GSP's the same. Now, when it comes to work inside the octagon, there's really no debate between GSP and Jon Jones. Jon crushes all of them. But again, if your GOAT factors into being a good human being, Jon's probably not your number one, and that's okay. Matthew Swindler 2959. Fan question: if Derek Lewis doesn't retire and takes another fight, do you think a Curtis Blades rematch would make sense? God, I don't want to see it. I wish he would just stop. He can only damage his career and legacy at this point. You can just tell, like, it's over. Like, he doesn't seem like he wants to do it. And that's when I get worried. I'd rather a guy be chinny and has to stop than doesn't have the heart to be in there. That's when it sucks. That's when it's sad. Padded_sell. Fan question: love the pod, all the content. To be honest, most non-biased analysts other than the Americans, but yeah, rant over. Haha. Do you think, to be honest, most non-biased analysts other than the Americans. He's saying I'm not biased. I can be a little biased, but I hear you. Rants over. All right. Do you think Tyson going to Frank Warren to Zuffa and Dana fuck Tom Moore? I mean, he seems keen. Unfortunately, I think Gane smokes him this time. I just feel all his eye poke injury and signing with Eddie has screwed it up to be an upset now. I thought Tom would beat Jones. FYI, I got into your pod making body kits for cars and vans. And fellow workers were listening to you back in 2018. But yeah, killing it, dude. Hell yeah. Body kits for cars and vans. Dude, a body kit on the van? Sign me up. They make a lot of sense. And guys that kidnapped kids in the 90s screwed everything up for vans. I think only Honda makes the Odyssey van now.
Yeah, but in Japan, those vans are like...
They're still big?
It. Yeah, they
It'd be
make
sick
them really
if
cool.
like Ram came out with a van, if Ford came out with a dope-ass van. One can hope. Regarding Tom, see, I don't see it that way. I think if Tom does get the chance to fight Gane, he beats him. Even though Gane's improved significantly since the Jon Jones loss. I just feel like Tom's going to have a fire lit under his ass. But the issue more so is Eddie Hearn being in the middle. It's a disaster. It's not good. Fan question, Sky Blue 9991. Are you ever going to bring back Rough House Sunday? I'm eager to learn from the Master Callan. I think you should start these off with a fresh lesson every week. Much love. Yeah, maybe Callan's getting older, man. I mean, he still plays grab ass in the gym around the boys, but Callan's getting older. I don't want to fuck him up. Can't have him get hurt. Usman Zia 9116. Fan question. Armin told Adrian Broner and Dean the Great that boxing is the hardest sport. He said you can start training at UFC at 20 and become a world champion, but if you're not boxing as a kid, it's important. You think that's true? Yes. Yeah. I want to say it's the hardest sport because of that, but he's right. There's a few exceptions. We can't go off the exception. Like Deontay Wilder, I think, started boxing at 24, became champion and a bronze medalist, but that's heavyweight. But when you're young, you got to start young if you want a career in boxing. I think that's because so many more people participate in boxing. It takes a long time to get good at elite level. My argument isn't that boxing's easy. My argument is if any high-level boxers came over to MMA, because MMA, there's knees, elbows, kicks, takedowns on top of boxing. Boxers don't stand a chance. But we can go over there and do fairly decent. We get beat up, but we can do fairly decent because it's one aspect of our sport. They can't come over to ours and have any success whatsoever. They can't even win a single round. That's my argument. Rob VTS, fan question. Since you changed the name of the podcast, why can't I listen to it anymore in England? I have to use the VPN now. Really?
From the change of a name? That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense because everything else is the same.
Yeah, nothing changed routing-wise, RSS, nothing.
No, nothing changes. Sorry about that, dude. Bobby Snuggles, great name. Fan question. After rewatching the Gane versus Aspinall fight, I feel like the knee stomp is what really hurt Aspinall. He used the eye pokes in hopes to win by DQ instead of losing by knee injury again. You can see the heavy wince and gingerly putting the weight on that leg into the eye poke. What are your thoughts, Big Brown? We know Tom wore glasses and had eye issues previous to eye pokes. I think he just used them as a cover, let the knee heal, give him that. Do you think he actually fights interim winner or does he vacate for boxing? No, I think they figure it out. I think they figure it out. I think we get Tom gone by the end of the year. I really do. My heart of hearts, I think they figure it out. As far as the knee, no, I mean, those eye pokes were bad, man. And, these fighters, I can see how people allude to this stuff, but fighters different, man. Like Tom, I don't think any of us are that smart to be like, all right, my knee's fucked up. Let's use the eye poke as an excuse. It's just not the way we're wired. I think his eyes are really fucked up and need to go through eye surgery and stuff like that. So it's an issue, man. It's an issue. But I think Tom beats Gane, and I think it's by the end of the year. Savior King 87. Fan question. Do you think we are officially with the world stopping fights? What I mean by that is Tyson versus pretty much anyone in the world stopped. Mayweather versus Pacquiao, even Conor versus Aldo, Khabib in the world stopped. If not, what would both in boxing, UFC, or MMA beckon the world to stop fighting? The world stopping fight. He's saying like the entire world stops down and watches
to watch
it.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do in the podcast world. Hopefully your daughter is continuing to do better and better every day. She is, brother. Thank you, man. She just got new AFOs. Those are the braces for her legs. So, and instead of the long ones, she's doing so much better. They gave her the short ones. She actually just started wearing them today in school. So thanks, dude. The world stopping. Would Conor versus Gaethje do it for the light heavyweight title? That'd be probably the closest thing we can get to. Outside that, yeah, to your point, because I don't think Tyson Joshua that would be close. You're talking mega fights where the whole world tunes in. Those days are over, bud. I'm with you. There's too much content. There's too much going on in the world to people at that magnitude to care about a fight these days, unfortunately.
You think if we could rewind time, Jon Jones and Alex, if that actually happened? No.
Alex isn't a big enough star. Frank Suarez, 4592. Frank Rush, hey, Schaub, do you think both Conor and Paddy were to win their fights at International Fight Week? Would Paddy versus Conor be the bigger fight to make, or have Conor fight the winner of Islam Gary? Either way, Conor versus any of those names has big numbies, but who do you think would be a better route for McGregor if he wins, of course? Shout out to you and your family. Nick and Chin, love the show. Thanks, brother. Conor versus Justin Gaethje would be the move. He's not going to go up and fight Islam or Gary. The interesting question that you posed there is if let's say if Ian Gary beat Islam, Gary versus Conor at 170 for the welterweight title in Dublin, Ireland versus Ireland. But no, but if Gary wins, it could be something. I don't think they do Paddy versus Conor, no matter what. If Conor wins, I think it's Justin Gaethje. He won't touch Islam. That's just a bad idea. If Gary wins, that's where it could get kind of interesting, you know? Especially if Gary called him out on the mic. That could be cool. But he's the only one in that equation that would make sense. I think it's Justin Gaethje, though. And this is only if he wins. That's a big if. Duncan, Elizabeth, and Victoria 6916. Fan question. After watching Gaethje's fight against Topuria, I feel like Paddy might be better than I thought, right? I'm trying not to do MMA math. Yeah, it never really worked, but in this case, it's a little different. But do you feel like the fan base, might have been a little dismissive of Paddy after he lost that fight and went back and rewatched it, and Paddy didn't look as bad as I remembered? I know, me too. I watched it. Paddy had a lot of success on the feet, has a chin, and I think your takeaway from that fight is holy shit, Paddy's tough as nails, dude. He's a fighter's fighter. That dude is tough. There's no quitting Paddy.
He always gets hit too.
Yeah, he's bad defense. But yeah, to your point. But that's UFC fan base. They jump off guys super fast. Z Blesser, fan question. Paramount and UFC deal looks like a very good deal for Paramount. At the beginning of the year and the beginning of the deal, we looked like we were nervous about what was going to happen. Look at us now. Paramount got off cheap. $7.7 billion. But yeah, I hear you. My criticism, like there was a thing going viral of me talking shit about the UFC, how it's dying, and how mad I was at Paramount. When they first started out, it was rough waters, man. Terrible fights, terrible matchups, no effort. And the UFC said, hold on, give us a second, let's get our beaks wet, and look at us now. So I'm not mad at them. Daniel Ortiz, 9316. Fan question. Did you notice Justin had a yellow hint to him? Looked like they sprayed or rubbered some stuff on his feet and arms. What was that? I I think it's just his coloration. He's white as all get out, and when your feet are always on the mats, they do get a little yellow. Other than that, it's just, he looks like a Simpson.
Is he kind of redheaded too or not?
Yeah, like his beard to get a little
Something,
red.
right?
Yeah. Boogie 7098. Fan question. You said for Justin G to retire unless Conor wins against Max, which I agree with, except if Max wins, couldn't Justin skip Armin and rematch Max since Max holds a win over Justin when Justin could win the rematch prior to retirement? I don't know if that does it. Like if you're Justin, it's like, okay, fight Max. It would do good numbers for today's standards, but you just can't. That's not going to top the White House. A Conor McGregor for a title fight would do insane numbers, be an insane bag for him. Him versus Max doesn't do that. Doesn't check the box. And I love Max, but you're talking about a different stratosphere when it comes to Conor. D. Jarrett 707. Fan question. Do you think we would have seen a better performance from Poatan if he came in at around 230, 240? Yes. And come on, Herb Dean. He knew this was coming. Maybe the fight would have played out the same, but the fight should have been stopped and Alex given his time or call it a no contest. It's like Ciryl can't help himself. Yeah, he's just a meathead. But I agree. It was a red flag to me. Poatan came in at 253. I get going to heavyweight and adding weight and wanting to be able to handle a heavier opponent, but coming in heavier than him when you used to fight at 85 is not the way to do it. 230, 240 all day. Keep the speed advantage. He lost the speed advantage. Zach Baker, 2828. Fan question statement. Do you think Ilia versus Paddy is more tasty now? Paddy's a true lightweight and ground game is great. Obviously, he doesn't want to have a technical stand-up battle with Ilia. Also, Justin has been in wars. Ilia hasn't experienced those deep trenches before. Justin thrives. I truly believe Justin's heart pushed him through the gruesome body shot. Agree. And once Ilia realized it ain't going to be easy, he thought, oh shit, 2 American champs in the UFC. We are back, baby. We got more than 2, dude. You got Kayla Harrison, Mackenzie Dern, claiming her, Joshua Van, right? Who else we got? We got Justin Gaethje, and Strickland. You got 5 Americans as your champ. Do I think Ilia and Paddy? Yeah, Ilia Paddy's a great fight. Paddy would have to beat BSD, though, and that's a big if. Luke, AR007. Appreciate the show, bro. What are your thoughts on amateur MMA fights and pro? How many fights should guys compete in with amateur before going pro? Obviously, the goal is to make as much money as possible if you're good, so your pro record is more important than your AMI record. But when you're first starting out in the pro circuit, you should be fighting 4 times a year as a pro and get as much experience as possible. Is that just for AMI fights? Do you have a hard time getting fights when you first start out and you just take what you could get? Curious on your thoughts. Thanks for taking the time. Go compete in RFA and make that money. Yeah. RAF. Yep. I hear you, brother. Appreciate you. My thing is, I was talking to this young man the other day who's competing MMA, and he goes, any advice? I go, yep. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So people are going to push you to turn pro fast and all that stuff. Get as many amateur fights you can so you can see all sorts of different styles and get good. And when you go pro, be ready to go. So when you turn pro, you have some of these mistakes you made and nobody cares about either. So there's not as much pressure. So you can fight pressure free and learn, and get experience. And when you go pro, yeah, man, fight 4 to 5 times a year, 6 times a year if you can. Again, injuries could delay that stuff, but fight as many times as you can. So you're seeing so many styles. Because once you sign with the UFC, man, if you're not ready to go, it's going to be a short career. So just be ready to go. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Last one. Fan question, D Scott 7418. Yo, Big Brown, a.k.a. Big Grown. I definitely fucked that up last time. It's your boy D back again. Question, I put together 5 fights, old school versus new school for you, Chin, hopefully Nick. Let me know your picks. For the old school, I put their previous opponents so you know what version of them you're getting. For the fight, keep killing it, bro. Break it down. Oh, buddy. Ilia Topuria versus he put PJ, but BJ Penn after the Sean Shirk knockout. Ah, dude, why you do this to me? I would go with BJ Penn. You're talking about an absolute freak, explosive, no weakness, phenomenal boxing, phenomenal fundamentals. Jab was insane. Ilia Topuria seems to struggle with a guy with a really good jab. You know, Justin Gaethje's jab is great and he hits hard. BJ's pen is one of the best of all time. I think BJ would beat him via decision. At 135, Ciryl Gane versus TJ Dillashaw after the Cody Garbrandt KO. Buddy. But see, I'm coming from, you're talking about guys from my day, so it's going to be fucking tough, dude. I'm going to be biased. TJ Dillashaw with that movement, and you got to also don't forget TJ Dillashaw's wrestling too. He beat Ciryl Gane. 185, Sean Strickland versus Anderson Silva after the Vitor Belfort KO. Very tough fight for Strickland. Very, very tough fight. Very, very tough fight. Very tough fight. I'm telling you, dude, I'm going to be biased. 205, Poatan versus Chuck Liddell. That's at 205, and that's after he knocked out Tito Ortiz. Oh, buddy. God, great questions, dude. Great fucking matchups, too. I would probably go with Poatan. He hit a lot harder than Chuck. Has better technique than Chuck. He's just such a high level. Chuck would struggle with the kicks as well. I'll go with Poatan at 205 over Chuck. Number 5, Brendan Schaub versus Ciryl Gane. Oh. Which Ciryl Gane, dude? You didn't specify. Mm-hmm. You didn't tell us which Gane. The Gane that lost to Jon Jones, who was terrified and got bulldog choked like a third grader, or the Gane that fought Poatan. Either way, I'd have to have my hands full, man. I relied on my athletic ability and movement and stuff like that. I definitely went stand with him. I tried to get him against the cage, close distance, and take him down against the cage and break him and look for a submission. I'd like to think I could submit him, but that's a very tough fight, and I'm also 43.
How do you think you fare with the speed difference? Are you faster? Are you faster?
I was pretty fast. Faster than Gane, probably not. The grappling is where I'd have a significant advantage.
Without a doubt.
My grappling, wrestling, and cardio would be a problem for him. And this is prime me, you know. This is after I beat Gonzaga, after I beat Krokop, I was in my prime. So in that fight, I would take my chance against Ciryl Gane. Is that it? Great question, dude. Great freaking question. Great question. I only picked one of the new age guys to win. I'm gonna be biased though, because I'm from that class, so I hold those guys in high regard. But yeah, that's it. That's it, fam. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your questions. You guys are what make this show happen, man. So that's why we can do it 5 times a week now. We used to do the show once a week forever. Now it's 5 times, for God's sakes. Nothing to me is better than the live chat, the fan question, Big Brown Breakdown Club. So join the club, become a member. We're doing it as you're watching this tomorrow, Monday at 11 a.m. We have the regular Big Brown show, but even that's live now. Every show's live except for this Q&A. So on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central is the Big Brown Breakdown Club members only live chat. That's every Tuesday and Friday at 11 o'clock. Come join the club, man. It's a grand old time. We have fun. I answer a million questions. It's my favorite thing to do. So enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for watching. If you're listening to this on Monday morning, kick ass today at work. Take care of those kiddos. I will see you guys probably at the baseball or football field. I'm Brendan Schaub. I'm out.
When you're in a bind, you will find a new fight card to be broken down. And you can't fall asleep, 'cause he'll go balls deep on a card coming Saturday night. It's Big Brown, Big Brown, Big Brown Breakdown coming to your town. He's big and he's brown, the Big Brown Break.
Some of that was good.
Down.